So, hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are fine and safe. Well, again, welcome back to Quantum Mathematics. I'm Aman, just welcoming you all to a new amazing video. Well, as we have talked about the Euler's infinite product, like we have talked about the proof of the Euler's infinite product, that was something sort of this thing. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 1 minus theta squared over k squared pi squared. So this what we have talked about in the last video, and we have proved this using the Gaussian representation of gamma function, right? And what was that? Let me just show that to you here. So that was gamma of z equals limit n tends to infinity of n to the z over z times the product as k goes from 1 to n of k over k plus z. So this was, we used this very relation to prove this crazy looking thing, and this is known as the Euler's infinite product for sine actually, right? And we have talked about it in the previous video. And as I promised you guys, I'm just gonna prove this one down using the Weierstrass infinite product that says, it's 1 over gamma of z equals z times e to the Euler masculine times z times the infinite product, in which let's consider n here. So it's 1 plus z over n over times negative e to the negative z over n. So from here we are gonna prove this crazy looking product down. And you know what, we have talked about this one thing in one of my previous videos, I think 2 or 3 days ago. So I have uploaded that on my YouTube channel. If you want, please check that out, right? So let's just try to just prove this down from this very relation. So I'm just gonna erase both of them actually, and let me just write it down again here. So we are having Weierstrass infinite product as it's z times e to the Euler masculine times z and times the infinite product, and 1 plus z over n times e to the negative z over n. Now next, you know what, we did replacement of z with negative z in the previous video as well. So let's do this in this video even. So we are having gamma of negative z because we replaced z with negative z here, and this is negative z times e to the negative Euler masculine times z times the product as n goes from 1 to infinity of 1 minus z over n e to the z over n. Right? Okay. So now if we talk about, if we are going to divide both sides with negative z here in this equation, so we are going to have negative z times gamma of negative z, right? And we have talked about it in the previous video as well. So this is e to the negative Euler masculine times z times the infinite product as n goes from 1 to infinity of 1 minus z over n times e to the z over n. And we have talked about this in the previous video, that is negative z times gamma of negative z is gamma of 1 minus z, right? So basically let's replace it with that. So we are having gamma of 1 minus z here, and we are having on the right hand side it's Euler e to the negative Euler masculine times z times the product as n goes from 1 to infinity of 1 minus z over n times e to the z over n. So we are having two equations. The first one, that's the reciprocal of gamma of z, and the second one is the reciprocal of gamma of 1z. So let's just multiply both of these equations with each other actually. So it's gamma of z times gamma of 1 minus z. Let me just set this one slightly here. And if we talk about this one, so it's z times e to the Euler Masterman times z times the infinite product 1 plus z over n e to the negative z over n. And if we talk about 1 over gamma of 1 minus z, so we have evaluated this by far is e to the negative Euler Masterman times z times the product as n goes from 1 to infinity of 1 minus z over n e to the z over n. And since these two things are being multiplied to each other, so this e to the negative Euler Masterman times z and this e to the positive Euler Masterman times z, they are both going to cancel out with each other successfully. And the crazy part is this one and this one also getting cancelled out because they are having negative, like alternative power in between them. And again, these two are just going from n equals 1 to infinity, so let's just combine them and write them in a single product. 1 over gamma of z times gamma of 1 minus z. So this was z times here is the product as n goes from 1 to infinity of 1 plus z over n times 1 minus z over n, right? And from now onwards you can prove it by your own, but still I have to do it by myself for you. So if we talk about the left hand side, so let's just copy that down one more time, and that can be compressed as 1 minus z squared over n squared along with a factor and a product 1 minus z squared over n squared. Pretty fine, right? And guess what? This is the reciprocal of Euler's that we have talked about this in the previous video, as well we have talked about in a lot of videos on my past videos, and even I have proved that thing. So the reciprocal is sine of pi z over pi. So let's just replace this thing with this one. So basically we are having sine of pi z over pi equals z times the product as n equals 1 to infinity of 1 minus z squared over n squared, right? And we are good to go. This is our final answer. Let's just do some modification here and we are good to go with this. That's it, guys. It wasn't difficult at all. So let's just we should consider just multiply both sides with pi. So it's sine of pi z equals pi z times the product as n goes from 1 to infinity of 1 minus z squared over n squared. And now let z be replaced with z over pi here. So when you replace that, so it's it's fine. Sine of z equals z times the product as n goes from 1 to infinity of 1 minus. So z is replaced by z over pi. So this becomes z, and here we are having z only. So that's going to be z squared over pi squared, right? Because we have replaced it with that. So z squared over n squared times pi squared. And this was the Euler's infinite product for sine. That was pretty good and that was pretty fine, and we did it. I think it was easy. It wasn't tough at all. I think it's pretty easy. And again, guys, it's fine for now. I don't need to stretch this video furthermore. And if you got to learn something from this video, guys, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share. And if you have any kind of doubt throughout this video, so you are free to ask me in the comment section. I will make sure to just reply those questions as fast as possible, actually. So yeah, goodbye, guys. Take care. Love you guys. And just stay tuned for the next video. Maybe I'm going to bring some bomb in front of you all. Goodbye, guys. Take care.